Alright, so I begin each maintenance by turning power off to the air hammock before I start so that everything's safe while we're doing our inspections. So I always start off with a good visual inspection in here on the coil and of the filter. Oh, we can see that this filter is starting to get dirty. That should be changed. Doing my visual inspections in here. I'm looking for dirt, I'm looking for signs of freon leaks, I'm looking for a blocked drain line, and everything looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead and put the upper portion or the coil portion of this air handler back together. Just checking to make sure all the electrical connectors or wires, everything is still tight. We don't have any loose connections. Inspect the blower wheel and the blower motor. Feels good. We're going to check that capacitor. Check the underside of the coil. So visually everything looks good here. We're going to do some electrical checks with the system running. We're going to check the capacitor to make sure it's got the right rating. And we're going to put this back together and run it. Go ahead and kill it. Just checking the capacitance rating of this capacitor, which should be approximately 10 microfarads, plus or minus 3%. If you look down at the meter, we're at 9.7, which is within 3%. So this one's good. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to run the furnace portion of this unit. Make sure the blower motor is drawing the correct amperage, and make sure the electric heaters are all drawing the correct amperage. So we'll go ahead and turn the system back on and run it. So we're getting 2.1 amps on the blower motor. Getting 23 amps on one stage of heat. And about 21 amps on the other two stages of heat, respectively. So everything's within the specifications of what this unit's supposed to be using. And we'll cycle her back on. Now, I have to check those readings with the panels off. Obviously, I can't check them with the panels on. But we can't run the heat pump like that and evaluate how well it's running because it changes the airflow through the system. So that's one operational check that needs to be done with the panels off. And you can see on the nameplate here, full load amps on the blower motor is 2.2. We were reading 2.1. So it's operating within its safe operating range. So we always start, of course, with our inspections, and to safely do that, we disconnect electricity so that nobody gets hurt, there's no damage to me or the machinery. So that we can begin our visual inspection. And we're always looking in here for signs of refrigerant leaks, frayed electrical connections, and so far everything looks really good here. Next I come over here and I do a visual check in here on all the electrical components. Check our electrical connections, they feel good. Inspect the contactor, that looks good. Okay, so the next step is going to be to check this dual run capacitor. Again, to make sure it's within spec.